Thailand is preparing for new leadership. The country's general will step into the role of prime minister, but many fear the move could give the military complete control over the country. In his first address to the nation, the new prime minister has issued a warning saying that opposition could delay elections in terms like, quote, democracy could destabilize Thailand. CCTV's Tony Cheng joins us live from Bangkok. The new prime minister concerned with opposition groups plotting against him, but who are they and do they really pose a threat?
Well, that's a very good question. We've seen some spontaneous opposition after the coup happened in late May. That really disappeared after the first couple of weeks. We saw a few dedicated student groups making some pointed protests. It was very heavily covered by the media, but certainly weren't widespread. Since that time, more than a month ago, we've seen very little opposition at all. The military junta, on the other hand, has continued to detain academics, journalists, human rights supporters, anyone who they perceive could be a potential opponent, and has been detaining them, more than 500 people since that military coup took place in May. And I think it's a real concern for many people that at this stage the government is creating a perceived threat. It's also interesting that General Prayuth chose this first address to the nation as Prime Minister to go this way. He could have really gone one of two ways. He could have made a conciliatory statement, said that he was getting back on track to civilian government. He doesn't seem to have done that. He seems to have gone the other way to enforce the authoritarian message that his government is one which is going to be one of control rather than consensus.
Bangkok has returned to normal after 9 months of tumultuous political unrest. The streets have been cleared and business appears to be tentatively returning. But at what cost to democracy in Thailand? With the appointment of the coup leader as prime minister, at least the appearance of civilian government has returned. Now General Prayuth can appoint a cabinet. What sort of government will he form? The National Legislative Council might give some indication, stacked with military men and those loyal to the coup leaders. Key constituencies, however, are unrepresented, like women, outnumbered by a ratio of 20 to 1. Do you think this is truly a representative government of Thailand?
I would say this represents all sectors of Thailand.
But not women?
Because I believe that I'm representing the private sector. I'm coming from Chamber of Commerce.
As the people charged with putting Thailand back on track in all sectors, you feel that this is a representative body?
At the moment, women or men, we are working for the equality of all.
But the reconciliation process to heal the deep divide in Thai politics is not likely to be representative. So far, there's been no indication the new government will reach out to the red shirts or representatives of Thaksin Shinawatra. And of greater concern to neutral observers are the changes being made to Thailand's constitution that could affect the path of democratic growth for generations to come.
You just can't turn democracy, the universal definition of democracy, of the government of the people by the people, and you turn it into democracy Thai style. It could contradict to the definition of that word.
Tony, is the international community likely to respond well to the appointment of General Prayuth?
Probably not. At this stage, we've seen round condemnation of the military coup and the government that's followed it from the European Union, from the State Department. We heard a statement from the State Department yesterday saying they welcomed the new Prime Minister, but they hoped he would return Thailand to the track of civilian government. That doesn't appear to be happening. The messages that are coming from the military junta, indirectly and directly, seem to be that elections will take at least a year, if not longer than that. And there is the suggestion it could go on, this government could rule for considerably longer than that. One editorial in one of the Thai papers today suggesting it could go on for as long as a decade. I don't think that's likely, but certainly the one-year framework is unlikely. And it's going to start presenting problems for the international community. Within ASEAN, within Southeast Asia, I think people are going to turn a blind eye, but we're expecting President Obama to come to the ASEAN meeting in Myanmar in November. he will have to meet General Prayuth at that stage, as in his capacity as Prime Minister of Thailand. And one would imagine that would be rather an embarrassing meeting.
All right, Tony Cheng, live for us in Bangkok. Thanks so much.